Hey guys, it's dude Keon. Today I'm going to continue playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, Part 9 of the series. Please, if you haven't already, consider following and liking my Facebook page. It's facebook.gg/KeonPH and my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/KeonPH. Like, comment, subscribe, and punch that notification bell so you can get notified to all of my latest videos. Alright guys. I hope you can see dialogue right now.
How could anyone think that was the
Nice,
Death Knight?
you can see the name.
It was obviously just an ordinary bandit.
Manuela, you unthinking fool.
Hanneman, I've heard enough.
How bloody stupid.
Hey, didn't I just finish this? I think I've already finished that. It's so weird.
Professor.
Nice.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day. Together is...
This will go. It went well.
Nice.
It's all coming together. Hope this is good for something. I understand more.
Looks like I'm getting it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Investigate Vermeer Village. Oh man, running out of money. I'm out of money. Alright. Let's do some support first. Alright, let's do this.
Mercedes, I'm sorry to ask this of you, but will you lend me a hand?
What can I do for you? Oh, is the cuff of your overcoat still torn? Mending that shouldn't be a problem at all.
It's pathetic, I know, but I fear my sewing skills are... well, as you can see, they're just about non-existent.
Goodness, you must have been concerned when I tore your cuff.
Ah, well... that is to say... would you please teach me to sew? I hear you're rather amazing at it.
Of course I'll teach you. Don't look so heartbroken.
You will? Thank you. Oh, I owe you for this.
I'll go get my sewing kit. You wait here. I'm so sorry, Dimitri. I've never seen, well, it's just a bit...
No need to dance around the issue. You're fed up with my clumsy efforts, aren't you?
I thought you might end up bending some needles if you tried mending this on your own, but... how did you manage to break a pair of scissors?
I'm so sorry, really. I try to be careful, but with delicate work like this, I just can't seem to manage.
There's no need to apologize. But you must have been uncomfortable making your way here with this tear.
My inability to control my own strength is humiliating. Of course I'm useless at needlework.
No giving up on yourself. You just have to practice, that's all. No matter how difficult something is, if you keep at it and don't give up, then you're sure to improve. Isn't that what you told me?
Right you are. To give in to despair isn't like me. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, I'm ready to give it another go.
Great! I'm glad to hear it. First things first, let's make sure the needle is actually threaded this time.
No! I bent another one.
Nice. Another Mercedes story. Sylvain.
Mercedes, I swear,
Mercedes.
the whole cathedral glows with heavenly light when you're around.
Hello, Sylvain. What a treat to see you here. I thought you preferred places with more ladies around.
I'm here because you're here. And I don't care about other girls.
Oh, come now. I'm sure you use that line all the time.
Actually, I've only said it to girls who thought I was lying about being faithful. You know what? There's no reason to get into all that. The truth is, I would really like to spend some time with you. What do you say to that?
Well, if you were really interested in me, I would want you to get to know me better.
I agree. I've been such an idiot in
Yeah.
the past, always angling for the seduction. I've forgotten how to just talk to someone.
You act like you're full of regret, but I know you don't really mean it.
They should
Still,
end up
I'm
with
glad
each
to
other.
hear you say that at least. I told you such a boring story the last time we spoke. I was worried you might think I was a dull person.
Dull? No. I was worried that I'd made you remember unhappy times. It's horrible what you had to go through. It's not like anyone chooses to be born with a crest.
Right. We can't choose our bloodline. You've got a crest too, haven't you, Sylvain? What has your experience been like?
Are you asking how being born with a crest affected me?
Yes. I know there was that business with your brother Miklon, but I'm sure you don't want to talk about all that.
It's not a very happy story.
Please don't feel the need to hold back on my account. I'm here if you need someone to share in your pain.
Would you want to know more about me, even if I didn't have a crest, or come from a noble family?
This has nothing to do with your crest or family. I'm just asking as your friend. How should I put this? When I look at you, I don't see a crest. I want to see the real you.
You do? Here's the short version. I hate crests. Even though having one is supposed to be such a great blessing, mine has ruined everything. Miklon was heir to our house. Then I was born, and I became the heir because I had a crest. That made my older brother jealous enough to want to kill me. And every woman in Fodlan wants to have my little crest baby, so they can join the nobility. Yeah, there you go. That's what it's like to have a crest.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to dredge up such awful things.
No, I should keep my temper better. I don't want you to see me act that way.
Don't say that. I'm glad we were able to talk. I feel like I'm finally seeing the real you. Oh,
Yeah.
Sylvain, will you save me from the curse of having a crest?
Of course. I think I love you. And I mean that. With all my heart. I love you, Mercedes. Let's get married and have crest babies.
Sure.
What the heck? That was fast. Okay, let's have a battle, shall we? Here's the Red Canyon.
I am grateful.
What was that name again? Oh, this is frustrating me to no end. I simply can't recall. Oh, I have it. Xanadu. That's it. It was not long ago that we were there. And still, I somehow managed to forget. Well, that place brought back some fragments of my memory. I cannot help but wonder why. I feel we must return to find some answers there.
Let's go.
Yes, you are right. For as the saying goes, there is no time like the present.
It is most unlike our professor to go wandering alone like that.
Curious, Your Highness.
Yes, I have an uneasy feeling about this. Let's gather the others and find out what is going on.
Yes, it is all coming back to me. This structure. Oh, but it's as though my memories are clouded. The most important pieces are obscured. But I once called this home. I have no doubt. I seem to recall something on the other side of that wall. I cannot see it, but I can still feel it. It is not my imagination. I know this to be true. We are already deep within this valley. Oh, what was that awful sound? Yes, and that was not a normal beast, but a huge and terrifying one. Look, there, at the entrance of the valley. A giant shadow!
Where?
What is it now?
Nice.
Those hungry wolves. That howl must have riled them up. We have no choice but to fight our way out. Give it your all.
This is bad. It's a good thing we managed to catch up with our professor.
Wolves at the front, hawks at the rear, and at the canyon mouth, a demonic beast.
Or perhaps to call it a stray beast would be most fitting. If we cannot take out the beast, I doubt we will ever see the monastery again. We must
Stay focused.
Time is now.
Why is Hanneman here?
This
Getting stronger.
Predictable.
Defenseless, are we?
Nice.
Have I improved some?
Adios, shoutouts to you. Thank you for tuning in. Ouch.
Another swarm of hawks. And our professor is still over there.
Let's take them out.
I'm grateful.
I'll cut through.
Ready.
Nice.
This is what a real man looks like.
That's my cue.
What should I do?
I'll do. Get out of there.
Here we go.
Thanks so much. I'll give it my all.
Damn it.
It's our chance to prevail. Nope.
This won't feel good.
Nice.
Not my first battle.
That was tough.
Nice. Missed.
Blast! More hawks! We should probably take those out before we approach that beast.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I want to be all I can.
That's how it goes.
Nice.
I have
Not good enough.
this a joke?
Our work is done. My, things did not go as planned. Let us return before any more hawks or wolves join us. But what was that demonic beast doing within the Red Canyon?
Nice.
Professor, I am so glad that you are unharmed. What if something had happened to you?
Your Highness, our instructor is safe. We should return to the monastery at once.
Yes, I suppose you are right. If we stay here much longer, we are sure to be reprimanded.
It is not untrue to assert that our professor led us here for battle experience.
Dedu, you surprise me. And you, Professor. I hope you will tell us what brought you here.
Oh dear, I put us in a bit of danger there. We are most fortunate that those delinquents followed us. You very nearly met your end. What a marvelous professor you must be for all your students to be so concerned. You seem more confident in your ability to teach. But that makes sense, as you have me to help you out. How disappointing to have dived so deeply into danger, and yet to have nothing to show. Huh? What is this strange feeling? My memories. Do you feel them stirring? How curious. You seem to have grown stronger. And all thanks to our journey to Xanadu. It really was worth all that effort.
Shingo Baba, shoutouts to you. Thank you for tuning in.
Huh? You found this? I dare say you may find a use for that. You should decide how best to use that thing. But wow, we got a lot out of this trip. It was a bother for a spell, but in the end, I feel we should think fondly of our little trip. We actually had a delightful time, wouldn't you say?
Number 2.
There you are. I was looking for you. I need a favor. Yes, it's an unusual favor. My father sent a messenger. He wants me to return to Fraldaria's territory. Rodriga Shiel Fraldarius, the highest-ranking member of the Fargus nobility. I believe you've met him, so I heard. But about the favor. You're familiar with the tragedy of Duskhair, I presume? After the king's death, public order disintegrated. Bandits continued to raid villages across the kingdom, including those within Fraldaria's territory. My father says he needs my help driving the bandits away. Precisely. Good guess. Perhaps I shouldn't pull you into this. It stems from my family's failure to secure the region. But honestly, I want to see you in action. I never tire of watching you fight. And it'll be much more interesting for you than the training ground. Or maybe this task, driving off bandits, seems dull to a former mercenary? Excellent. While I'm at it, I have a second favor to ask of you. Could you recruit more fighters? I bet there will be willing volunteers if you're the one inviting them. I'll set off on my own and meet up with you there.
My thank you so much.
I am grateful. I have gratitude.
Thanks so much.
Welcome.
Come back soon.
Welcome.
Come back soon.
Struggling to defeat some bandits? What a pathetic old man my father is. Some villagers are trapped. Let's help them escape.
Felix, my son, you finally brought reinforcements.
Who's next? Over already.
Only a fool challenges me. Enlightening.
Weakling. That should put a stop to their reinforcements.
Who's next?
I suppose
I won't go down so easily.
Ready.
The stronghold is ours. No more bandits should come crawling out of here.
Winning's always nice. Growth.
That should do it. We've chased those ruffians away for good.
Thank you so much for your assistance. Please accept this small gift as thanks.
Wow.
We are grateful for your help. I doubt those bandits will stop anytime soon, but at least this village is safe. This village was important to the late king. If we hadn't saved it, I wouldn't have been able to face his majesty.
How foolish.
Pardon?
Oh.
We were protecting your subjects, not your ego. I don't give a damn as to whether you can bring yourself to face a dead king.
I will not tolerate such language from you.
I came here to hone my blade and to save innocent people. I suppose if I had died, you would say the same thing you did after Glenn's death. He died like a true knight. I have nothing more to say. I'm going back.
I'm sorry you had to see that. He's been that way for 4 years now. Of course, I understand his sentiment, to some extent. It all comes down to, well, a difference of opinion. So that's how you feel about it. How fortunate Felix is to have met someone like you. There's nothing as heartening as having someone around who really understands you. He's an odd boy, thick-headed in some ways, but he's my son all the same. I'm glad he has you to look after him.
Nice.
Thank you for your help the other day, Professor. Please, allow me to express my gratitude by taking you to dinner. Fantastic. But please think about what you'd like to eat. After all, such magnificent guidance must work up quite an appetite. I've studied swordsmanship for some time, but your mercenary skills are something else entirely. Speaking of which, there's another question I must ask you. Were you reconciled with the reality of battle from your first foray? With the killing part, I mean? I see. No. I do not carry that burden well. I doubt that will change, no matter how many years come and go. The first time I led on the battlefield, I was sent to quell a rebellion in the West. It was not a difficult fight. The enemy was not well trained, and their morale was low. A swing of the lance, and your opponent falls. A flash of your blade, and a path opens up. That's the sort of battle it was. Easy, right? The noble family from that area sought to seize the throne after my father's untimely death. The leader of the rebel army was defeated, and the rebellion quelled. This was at the height of the post-war period. I recall coming across a dead soldier's body. He was clutching a locket, and inside was a lock of golden hair. I don't know to whom it belonged. His wife? His daughter? Mother? Lover? I'll never know. He was a soldier, an enemy, someone we had cut down without hesitation. But in that moment, I realized he was also a real person, just like the rest of us. Of course, we cannot stand idly by and allow anyone to commit senseless acts of violence. Yet, in dispensing what we call justice, we take the lives of cherished family members, beloved friends. Killing is part of the job, but even so, there are times when I'm chilled to the bone by the depravity of my own actions. That you feel the same way is more comforting than you could know. Professor, may I speak freely? When we first met, I thought of you as someone who felt no strong feelings about killing your enemies. I could never trust someone who kills without batting an eye. My heart won't allow it. But after speaking with you and getting to know you better, I can see you're not like that. Now I know, with all my heart, that I can trust you. Thank you for that.
Nice.
Okay. No big deal, really.
Easy.
Your Highness, I've come to apologize. I mismanaged my feelings and got carried away. I've been thinking about what might have made you say the things you did. I was so caught up in the moment and in my own feelings that I didn't think of what yours might be.
No, I should be the one to apologize. I did not intend to say such things. I lashed out like a child. You were right to rebuke me. I am disgusted by my own inability to express myself. Will you allow me to explain?
Of course.
At the tragedy of Dusker, I saw countless corpses. Of course, I saw his, too. Glenn's. Ingrid, I doubt you would have been able to see him. They were unable to bring his body back, after all. He must have died an agonizing death, full of pain and regret. That is what I saw in his face. In that wasteland, there were no beautiful, proud deaths that could have been written about in heroic tales. Not one. I do not want you to die a death like that. not even for the sake of loyalty or duty.
A king must at times order his soldiers and knights to fight and die on his behalf. Their lives must be used for the greater good. And this is something any good king understands innately. Any king who doesn't allow people to die on his behalf is too soft to rule well.
You leave me little room for argument. Have I disappointed you?
No. I chose to serve you because of how you are. As your knight, I will stand by your side and uphold your soft-hearted ideals.
What has changed, Ingrid? You were so obstinate the other day.
I've realized that I haven't been facing a very important truth. Because of you, I can finally move on. Thank you.
Nice.
You're following me. Stop.
I am leaving you alone, just as you asked. I may be walking the same way as you, but
What do you want?
you've made it abundantly clear I'm not to want anything from you, including politeness.
I heard a rumor that you're planning to settle down with a noble. You're trying to get close to me, aren't you? You want to marry into House Fraldarius.
Nice try, Felix, but it's not like any old noble will do. I just find you interesting is all. Is that so odd?
Interesting? I'm not interesting. What do you mean?
I've never met a noble so unsociable. Yes, that's the word, unsociable. Other nobles are quick to be friends, even if it's just because they might gain something from it.
The Empire's nobility, maybe. The Kingdom's nobility is a whole different animal.
If they are, so what? You should care how others think of you.
Why? I don't answer to them. All that matters is improving my skill. I'll prove my worth on the battlefield. Those people care so much about appearances they can't even see each other. It makes me sick.
Oh, I agree. What's important isn't how someone looks, it's their true nature. I don't pretend to know your true nature. I don't even have a very good understanding of my own. But I suppose you see mine just fine, don't you? Just a silly girl with no thoughts in her head except for marrying a noble. Yes? Goodbye, Felix.
And that should explain it. Did you understand all of that, young Annette?
I did. Thank you very much. Oh, but I was also wondering about this part here. It seems a bit off.
Questioning something like this is proof that your understanding has grown. Most impressive. Sit there, and I'll put this on the blackboard so you may copy it into your notes for later study.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
I believe that should explain everything, yes? Any further questions?
None. Thank you so much. I feel so great. I'm really sorry for taking up so much of your time, though.
Not at all. Not at all. Your intellectual curiosity is marvelous to see. And you have a top-notch character. Keep on as you are, and I sense a bright future for you. Seeing you continue to grow and succeed is more than a humble professor like myself deserves.
Really? That's so nice of you to say. I'll do my best. I'm honored to be your student.
If only your friends would learn from your example. Yes, a classroom full of attentive, studious pupils would be quite refreshing after all these years. Have a good evening, Miss Annette, and do not hesitate to ask any other questions.
I won't, thank you. Goodbye for now.
Wait, you'll trip if you leave like that.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Nice. Teacher-student relationship.
Thank you so much.
We've got to go. Now. The situation in Ramire Village has changed drastically. We don't know much more than that. We're hearing reports that the villagers are killing each other. Some say houses are burning. Regardless, we need to move.
Kill! Kill!
Help! Somebody please help!
What's going on here?
Don't waste your time on me. Saving the villagers is far more important. We haven't a moment to lose.
What can we do amid such confusion?
We'll have to take up arms against the villagers who are rampaging. If we strike carefully, it should be possible to spare their lives.
Oh dear. Isn't there a more peaceful way to deal with this?
No matter how long it takes, we'll need to check and rescue them all, one at a time.
Those who have gone mad may be victims themselves. Is it possible to save them?
Well, saving the poor people who aren't crazy is definitely our top priority. Let's get on with it.
Slow down, Annette. It won't do anyone any good if we panic and get injured ourselves.
Isn't that... Your Highness, suspicious figures spotted in the village. They seem to be watching the chaos.
Are they the ones responsible for this madness? If so, it's clear what must be done. Kill them all. Don't let a single one of them escape. Sever their limbs and crush their wicked skulls!
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
What the heck was that?
My thank you so much.
There are some suspicious-looking ruffians out there, but our top priority is to rescue the villagers. Got it? I'll rein in the villagers who've turned violent. You focus on rescuing the others.
Kill.
Thank you.
one giving orders to the others. Isn't that Tomas, the librarian?
What?
Ready.
Tomas!
I'll have a bit of fun here, too.
That's the Death Knight. He must be an ally of Tomas, or Solon, or whoever he is.
You are but a savage, insignificant beast. Yet you think you can kill me?
Shot coming!
Forgive me. Inexperience got the best.
She sounds like Ash Ketchum.
Shot coming!
Predictable! It's over!
Too slow!
Why am I even here?
I expect no less.
Oh, I won! I won't let everyone down.
was that?
I'm counting on you.
Not good enough.
Ah, the cursed Fellstar. This will be a fine opportunity to measure your power.
No hesitation.
Rip.
Always getting...
Why have you gone after this village? What are you planning?
I could have conducted this experiment on any test subjects. Now that I have what I came for, I must bid you farewell.
I must go.
Oh, come on.
Wait! Damn it, he's gone.
I will survey the village. There may still be some survivors.
Looks like we somehow managed to sort things out, and casualties were kept to a minimum. They said they weren't picky about who they used as their test subjects. Because of them, the people of Remire Village.
There you are.
That armor. So, you're the Flame Emperor.
Madel Barba
Yes.
at the start.
I believe
Thank you
have
for the
met my
follow.
subordinate, the Death Knight.
Oh, we've met all right. But back to you. You're the one responsible for the destruction of this village.
Do not get the wrong idea.
What in blazes does that mean?
It is true that I am working with Solon, but that does not mean our objectives are the same. Had I known they planned to do this, I would have stopped it. You have my word.
Your words are meaningless. Now, I'll have to insist that you accompany us back to the monastery.
I cannot abide that. However, if you wish to join forces, I will hear your plea.
What?
If left to their own devices, they will commit countless more violent acts like this one. Do you not wish to prevent that? With the sword of the Creator on our side, Solon would not be a threat. You are lying. I can see that you cannot contain your fury toward me. Pity. Pray that you do not live to regret your choice.
Gerald, Professor, have you seen His Highness?
What's wrong, kid? Huh? Oh, damn it! He's gone. Hey, I've been meaning to talk to you. Since coming to the monastery, you've changed.
How so?
You've been angry since we first arrived in Remire Village. And you look so happy when you're instructing the brats. Before the monastery, I'd never seen you bear your emotions like that. Not once. Then perhaps it's a good thing we came to the monastery. If only so I could see your face lit up like that. Or maybe there was never any reason for us to leave the monastery in the first place. I've put my foot in my mouth, haven't I? Though I suppose it may be nearly that time. Come to my office when you next have a moment to spare. There's something I need to tell you.
Just what was that about? I can't recall a time of old when you were at the monastery. I wonder what is hiding in the mist that is your past.
That's a very good quote.
Professor, I'm sorry you saw that side of me in the village. It must have been quite a shock to you and the others. I'm mortified by my behavior. When I saw the chaos and violence there, my mind just went completely dark. I see. So that happens to you as well, then?
Yes.
I've told you before that someday we may find ourselves facing something we simply cannot accept. That's what the chaos in Remire Village was to me. Solon and the Flame Emperor are both beasts who must be eliminated. Demons who kill the innocent. They aren't even human at this point. And you believed him? He doesn't deserve our forgiveness. He became an accomplice when he refused to turn himself in and return with us to the monastery. You see, Professor, I saw the same flames of torment just 4 years ago. In Dusker.
Please, have mercy!
Yeah, the pain! Make the burning stop! Help me! Somebody!
Avenge us! Those who killed us! Tear them apart! Destroy them all!
My father, my stepmother, 4 years ago, they lost their lives to those flames. I'll never forget. I still remember their faces, their screams, the tortured last moments of every person who died that day. But right now, all that matters is that we do whatever we can to help the surviving villagers get back to their normal lives. Thank you for everything. There's a reason that I came to the Officers' Academy. Just one reason. I came here for revenge. And one day, I will have it.
Now that was dark.
You did well handling that awful business in Remire Village. I am certain the goddess shares in our grief at the senselessness of that calamity. More importantly, I was shocked to hear that our own Tomas was actually a dark mage. I must reflect on our blindness.
You surely must. You failed to notice that a rat was hiding in your home. Pathetic! Who are these wicked foes? How did Tomas escape your gaze?
Tomas came to the monastery 40 years ago, by recommendation of House Ordelia of the Alliance. Around 8 years ago, he went back to House Ordelia, before returning to the monastery once again, just last year. After having worked at Garrigmach for decades, why would he betray us now? Just what did he hope to accomplish? Yuritsa became a professor at the Officers' Academy because of a recommendation from the Imperial nobility. Supposing that he is the Death Knight, that means that our enemy is an organization that has taken root in at least 2 territories.
In the long history of the Church of Seros, no, long before even that, there have been an endless number of threats to the peace of Fodlan. Yet those who oppose us still operate in the shadows. Their identity's a mystery. I believe that Solon and the Death Knight are merely one part of a much larger whole.
A threat to Fodlan's peace? That means we have no choice. We have to stop them all.
I have truly come to rely on you. I believe that the monastery will remain safe so long as we have you. We do not yet know the enemy's objective or whereabouts. For now, please devote yourself to preparing for whatever comes next.
That is all for today.
Professor, please wait. I know there is much that you still do not understand. However, one thing is clear. You possess great power. I believe that you are destined to be a source of great hope for all. In any case, I expect great things from you. Walk this world proudly, dear Professor. May the goddess Sothis protect you.
The goddess Sothis? Is that what she just said?
Is something the matter? I see. Sothis is the goddess's true name. Please do not use it carelessly. Farewell.
Do not say something that we may regret. What exactly am I? For now, let's leave this place. Please, go.
I thank you so much. Part 1.
Part
White
1.
Clouds.
White clouds. Ethereal
Cause of
moon. The cause of sorrow. Though most stars will still glimmer in the crisp winter air, the blue sea star has gone back into hiding. Legend states that the goddess prays for peace from her home in the heavens. In the town of Garreg-Mach, the anniversary of the monastery's completion nears, and the people's prayers intensify ahead of the Millennium Festival, still 5 years hence.
Sorry to trouble you.
Nice. I just skipped my birthday.
We are planning a grand ball for this month.
The grand ball.
I'm sure the students will be most pleased.
Yes, certainly. However, we must not devote all of our time to frivolity. We have a new mission for you. We have found evidence of someone sneaking into an unused chapel.
No, there is nothing of value in that building. We do not yet know what the intruder's objectives are.
This month, your class is tasked with guarding the chapel and investigating these intruders. With the recent state of affairs surrounding the Holy Church, we cannot afford to overlook any abnormality, no matter how seemingly trivial.
I am ordering a seasoned knight to assist you to ensure the safety of the students. In times like these, I am afraid we must always expect the worst.
Reporting for duty, Lady Rhea.
Nice.
I thought you two could use the time to bond. And to speak of important matters.
Appreciate the thought.
Bear in mind that Gerald has a separate mission of his own. He will join you once he has finished it.
It's true. I'll be away from the monastery for a while. But when I return, I'll come and watch you work. I'll be looking forward to it.
Nice.
Good results.
Oh wait, Scheiße. I picked the wrong class. Damn it.
What a...
I passed things.
Tomas. No. Solon, was it not? And the Flame Emperor. It is most clear that something has transpired, and it relates to you somehow. Or is the fault my own, and you're just caught inside the wave? Sothis, the goddess of this world. I bear her name. How confusing. I feel as though my head has turned to mush.
Hey, what's this about? The ball. It's an event for students, but it does pique the interest of some knights in particular.
Practice yield.
Too much merit. The librarian betrayed us. The Death Knight is back. Is this the time to be throwing a ball? I know nothing about... I know.
Hey. What's this? The ball. It's an event. It's not mine. It's not... It's not...
Hi there.
Legend has it that long ago, a female student from the academy met with a mysterious man at the Goddess Tower. They fell in love at first sight and were bound together forever after. But that's not the really interesting part. The incredible part is that the man was apparently the Adrestian Emperor himself. Oh, what I wouldn't give to fall in love at first sight with a splendid and powerful gentleman. I want my own fairy tale romance, and I want it now.
Everyone's in such a festive mood. I feel a bit out of my element here. I can't help but worry something might happen while we're all distracted. After all, our enemies are always plotting. Still, this air of levity is much more agreeable than the grim atmosphere of late.
Hi there.
Nope.
It's true that Tomas was employed here under the recommendation of House Ordelia, but that's all I know of the topic. I never even seen him prior to enrolling here. Even when he was supposedly in Ordelia territory, I never once saw him there. I'm still feeling bothered by all of this, but there's not much else I can say about it right now. Yes, I'm actually very... It's true, but that's even when I'm still... What?
Ah, the long-awaited ball. Finally an opportunity to showcase my exquisite skills on the dance floor. These skills were ingrained in me when I was a boy. My hands and feet move on pure instinct. It would seem that you're... It's a shame I'm... Ah, these skills... I don't recall misplacing anything. You will have to excuse me.
Alright. Some scary things have been happening lately. I hope that this month, of all months, is peaceful. The ball is coming up and everything. Although I'm not much of a dancer, actually. Ah, Professor, I'd like to learn more. The ball is... Oh!
Nice.
Someone lost that, huh? I don't know whose it is, I'm afraid. Someone...
It's almost time for the ball. Oh my, am I excited!
This being at school, we don't have many chances to get dressy. Professor, but if you're here to... It's almost this
Never seen that thing before in my... Never seen that thing before in my life. Good luck.
I wonder if Remire Village will ever be the same again. How do you recover from such a terrible event? So many dead, so much destroyed. I can't see how the whole village doesn't just end up abandoned. I'm sorry, but... How did you know I lost this?
Nice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The ball. A grim reminder of my... The other nobles will be fine, I'm sure. They've all been to events like that, but me? I'm a noble, and I've never even been close to one of these things.
That Ingrid run off to. The ball is soon, and she hadn't even put on any makeup. I was trying to help her out. Did you find... Did you...
Just great. It's that time when all the students get all lovey-dovey. You're new, but you know about the ball, yeah? I can't bear it. Young love is wasted on the young. They can't appreciate it to its fullest. Ugh. I wish I could fall in love too. Great. I can't. No, that's not mine. No, that's not mine. I hope you find the owner. No. Nope. No.
You know, Professor, I used to think I would be comfortable with all manner of experiments, so long as they provided usable results. But when I heard of Solon's work, well, I realized I'd not considered the moral and philosophical limits of what all manner of experiments might mean. Oh, sorry. I'm not great with blood. Even when I'm just thinking about it, I feel a bit ill now. That's not mine. That's not mine.
the ball. It reminds me of how I met my wife. I was at a village's harvest festival. There was a full moon, bathing everything in its cool glow. She appeared out of nowhere, dancing gracefully in the moonlight. A lovely fairy. We soon fell in love and tied the knot. Now we have a daughter who's as bright and beautiful as a sunny morning. So, whenever I see people dancing, I think of my wife, and my heart does a little waltz. I was at she appeared. I was at a she appeared. Not mine. Try someone else.
Pardon me. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Other than the legend of the Goddess Tower, of course. Have you heard the students talking about it? On the last night of the ethereal moon, on the same night as the ball, if a man and a woman go to the Goddess Tower and make a wish, it's sure to come true. I have a wish, but I can't find anybody to make it with me.
Maybe.
What?
Hello.
The area with the old chapel was supposed to be off limits. It was at risk of collapse, so they didn't even post guards. It's not too strange. Does that surprise you? Meh. Garreg Mach has lots of places that are blocked off for one reason or another. That's true of the underground Holy Mausoleum as well as the Northern Woods. People call it the Sealed Forest, but as far as I can tell, it's nothing special. Just a forest. The area with it wasn't does that's true. People call it
Hey. This is a rare opportunity to enjoy yourself. Please, leave everything else to us. The Meyer Village incident, the search for Tomas, we have it handled. You just focus on enjoying the ball with your students. It's for the good of everyone, don't you think? If the professors walk around in a state of distress, the students will be uneasy too.
Oh, our life in Meyer Village is gone. Father and Mother, gone. Why couldn't you have arrived just a little sooner?
Right, right.
The hell? Amiibo gazebo.
I'm glad the Meyer Village situation got sorted out, but it's not over yet, is it? And I can't believe old Tomas turned out to be an enemy. Who can you trust anymore? Hey, I hope we get a chance. I know I'm in a... I'm glad the Meyer... And I can't believe... Someone lost it? Someone
I can't believe this. I'm so angry right now. First it's the Death Knight, and now Tomas, but neither of them are in custody. I can't stand the thought of such evil lurking in the world. We have to do something about this. I have to do something about this. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that?
Hey. Great work in Remire Village, Professor. Who would have ever guessed it was Tomas? But no. Now isn't the time to get lost in gloomy thoughts.
I've been thinking of inviting a girl from a different house to the Goddess Tower on the night of the ball. But here's the twist. She's from a family with a much more significant and storied past than mine. I wonder if she'd ever stoop to going out with the humble son of a knight.
Humble son of a knight.
Hey.
Mercedes locked me in her room for hours earlier. She was slathering pounds of makeup onto my face, saying something or other about the ball. It really wore me out. No. No. Yes, that's mine. Thank you very much.
Nice.
No. 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 No.
It cannot be true that our siblings in arms could turn against us so. However, I will continue investigating members of the church. To think that even someone as senior as Tomas would fall under suspicion. I know not how far to take my search. Yes, a great many strange and terrible things have come to pass this year. I must not dismiss the possibility that someone among the students is behind it all. I have a request. It cannot be. No, that. No. 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 No.
The ball is coming up soon. I am so excited. I can't wait to fill up on food while everyone's dancing. I even heard there'll be some prime cuts of meat. Good to see you, Professor. I was just on my way. The ball is coming up. I can't. That isn't. Oh, hey! I can't believe I dropped this. Thanks for bringing it to me.
Hello there.
Oh.
Someone entered the old chapel. I think the townsfolk used it for feasts and such in the past. With that whole Tomas business, you can't blame the church for being on edge.
So, Tomas the librarian was a bad guy? But he always seemed so nice. Oh, come on, Self, you're better than this. You promised you'd be on top of things this month. Oh.
Nice.
A lot.
Another month full of chaos. I've barely had time to catch my breath. What is the objective of Tomas and his ilk? And what makes Flame so special?
Does that not bother you?
It does bother me.
There's a certain gentleman I'd like to invite to a rendezvous at the Goddess Tower. However, I can't imagine he'd be interested in a sheltered ingenue like myself. It's hard to pluck up the courage when that's where my thoughts always take me. Oh.
Hey! A moment, please.
Even though there is to be a ball, we still have a mission. It would be nice if this month passed by in peace. That is not.
It seems the dastards who set Remire village aflame have yet to be apprehended. Monsters. Trampling mercilessly over innocent lives. They deserve a gruesome end. Lost.
Ah, the ball. It reminds me of my first such event, back in the Imperial capital. It was held by my father, the Prime Minister. I really showed off my dancing skills. Everyone was quite impressed with me. How could you...
Dancing of Fodlan is not the same as dancing from Bridget. The reason is, maybe that the music has many differences. In Bridget, dancing is different for each person. Our dancing has vigor and ferocity. There is no speech of technique for our dancing. This is not belonging.
Professor. I was trying to catch you off guard, but you managed to block it. Not too shabby,
hell?
Professor.
Trying to kill me.
Oh, come on. Look at the blade I threw. It's just a wooden training sword. At worst, you could have gotten a bruise or perhaps a splinter. Let's agree it was funny and move on. How? By choking on it? Don't be so dramatic. Besides, I knew you'd dodge in time. I told you before that I was going to observe you. Since then, I've been watching you. I know what you're capable of. I took steps to make myself invisible, so I could observe you without being detected. I hardly let you out of my sight. After extensive research, I've concluded that you really are first-rate. Your sword skills are impeccable, you're a gifted educator, you clearly love working with the students. Someone with all of your exceptional qualities should not exist, but here you are. At first, I thought Geralt was the reason for Lady Rhea's interest in you. But no. Lady Rhea knew exactly what she was doing when she singled you out. Unfortunately, I can't hope to emulate you, let alone wield the sword of the Creator. So my plan of imitating you for Lady Rhea's attention has come to nothing. I didn't say that. I plan to give Lady Rhea a detailed report about what you're up to. Hopefully, then I'll be in her good graces. Oh, and don't think you can avoid being watched. I won't let you out of my sight.
That's weird.
Professor. I'm so sorry, Professor. I somehow overslept and missed our training session. I didn't mean to cause you and the others so much trouble. Imagine if that had happened during one of our missions. It really is inexcusable. It's just, when I'm studying tactics, I lose track of time and... Oh, who am I kidding? I've always been like this. Before I came to the Officers Academy, I was a student at the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad. Even back then, I was pulling all-nighters well before the exams. And I never even noticed I was harming myself. I'm just too focused on my goal. I know I've already told you this, but I really love to learn new things. It's a passion of sorts. I first realized I had the learning bug when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My father was so happy to see me using magic. Seeing him happy made me happy too. And that made me want to work even harder. If only things could have stayed like that. When I was about 13, my father left home. He was a devout man, so I figured he'd gone to the monastery. That's why I went to the School of Sorcery, so that I could eventually get accepted at the Officers Academy. I studied harder than ever, and sure enough, I finally earned a referral. Unfortunately, my passion for learning became more of an obsession. I got so focused, I kind of forgot how to relax. Feels like I've been running in circles ever since. That's true. Just look at today. If my hard work stops me from working hard, what good is it? Okay, it's decided. From now on, I'll try my best not to try my best. Yay! With you on my side, I'm sure I'll succeed. From now on, if you see me going overboard, just let me know. I'm a new woman after all.
She's so weird.
Thank you very much.
Oh no. What happened in Ramire was indescribable. The whole village burned to the ground. So many were left without even a home to return to. Thankfully, Her Grace the Archbishop has invited those who lost everything to stay at Garreg Mach. I pray that they will be able to return to their once peaceful lives as soon as possible. Until that day, we of the Church must join together and do all that we can to help them rebuild.
Nice.
A ball? I don't think I'll partake. What's this? What's... Yes, this... What's this? What's...
Hello, Professor. The ball will soon be upon us. I can feel my heart fluttering already.
I have never danced in front of people before.
Not even once in all my life. I am very much looking forward to it.
Nice.
Need something? See you again soon.
Last month was, well, you know even better than I do. I hope this one will be more cheerful. This ball, though, I don't know. It's all new to me. Hey, I've been...
Nice.
Those Abyssian idiots. All they ever do is cause trouble. We'd best purge the entire underbelly of Garreg Mach.
That's dark.
Garreg Mach Monastery is said to have been completed during the ethereal moon. Why, 995 years ago, as a matter of fact. That's rather a long time ago, don't you think? Every year, a ball is held to celebrate the founding, and every 100 years, a very special celebration takes place. It's a grand festival involving all of Garreg Mach. It is thrilling to read of past festivals, and I'm rather excited to experience one for myself. Once in a lifetime, eh? The next one in 5 years will mark a millennium. Should be quite an event. Do you imagine you'll still be here teaching then? Garreg Mach. It's a once in a... I can't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not.
Really?
Oh my. Tomas wouldn't betray the church. I don't believe it. I won't believe it. There's some people in the church who hate people like me who are from Elmira, but Tomas was always real kind. But if he really was Lady Rhea's enemy, well, I'd defend her against anybody, no matter how kind they'd been in the past. I don't know who...
Nice.
I've looked into Tomas, but I just cannot make sense of this at all. From his behavior up until now, I never would have suspected that a man like him could turn on us. I have also discovered that his appearance has changed. It is almost as if he is not even human. What in the world is going on? I have looked at from him. It is all. Yes, this is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Before the ball, it is customary that we host a competition of dance known as the White Heron Cup. The students are quite fond of this tradition. Each house must select a representative to compete. Their dance shall be judged by its beauty, grace, and technique. The student who is deemed the winner will be given the opportunity to train as a dancer, should they so please. It is a very precious thing, the gift of dance. I hope that you and your students will choose to participate. May I ask a favor of you? This is not mine. This is not mine. Nor do I know who it belongs to.
What?
Mercedes locked me in her room for— She was slathered— Speaking. Have you sorted out who will represent our class, Professor? It's not me, is it? Please don't say it's me. Oh dear. Well, I'll see what I can do then. On my honor. No. 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 No.
Hey! Great work in Remire Village, Professor. But no. Now isn't the time to get lost in gloomy thoughts. Oh, that's mine!
Should have known.
Professor, I admit, I have 2 left feet when it comes to dancing. Do you have time to give me any— How did I do?
Hey, what's this about? The ball. It's an event for students. Alois can't. He volunteered to judge the White Heron Cup. It's not mine. It's not. Hey. It's not. It's not mine.
The hell?
I hear you've chosen your representative for the White Heron Cup. In that case, a word of advice. On an average year, the winning contestant has about this much charm. Charm is important, wouldn't you agree? Who wants a partner with no charm? Not me. do your best, make sure to put in the practice, and good luck. No. My cooking is so good. Right. I do so enjoy cutting up vegetables in preparation to cook. So I'll do that and leave you with the cleanup. Oh.
Too much milk. The librarian betrayed us.
Before the ball, it is customary that we each house the student. It is a very...
Alright, I'm going to end the stream right here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you haven't already, consider following and liking my Facebook page, facebook.gg/KeonPH, and my YouTube channel as well, guys. youtube.com/KeonPH. Like, comment, subscribe, and punch that notification bell so you can get notified to all of my latest videos. Alright, guys, thank you guys for watching. See you on my next live stream. Bye!